Distinguished Deputy Permanent Representative of the Russian Federation, you have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, we congratulate all of the members of the Bureau on the Special Committee on Peacekeeping on their elections. The Special Committee is the only forum in the UN that is entrusted with the comprehensive consideration of peacekeeping issues. This is enshrined in paragraph 19 of the report of the C-34. We therefore consider it necessary to maintain the division of labour within the organisation when the overall strategic parameters for the development of UN peacekeeping activities are agreed by states within the Special Committee, and the UN Security Council first and foremost deals with the development of mandates for specific missions. The unique nature of the C-34 is its representative nature. It brings together a majority of the organization's member states, including troop contributing countries, host countries, and financial donors. The Special Committee is also in close contact with the UN Secretariat. Given that the key messages and initiatives from the UN Secretary General, in particular action for peacekeeping, underlines the importance of genuine partnership between members of the international community in order to ensure the proper functioning of UN peacekeeping operations, it is the Special Committee that is the main conduit through which those efforts pass. Last year, the structure of the reports of the C-34 were brought into the into the framework of the A4P, and it was possible to agree on the fact that the further advancement of A4P could be done in accordance with the opinions and recommendations of states, including those that were made during high-level events in September 2018. All of this has made it possible to legitimize the Secretariat's process in the context of A4P and synchronize that with the consensus decisions of states. Mr. Chairman, despite the unprecedented circumstances caused by the coronavirus pandemic, it's important that UN peacekeeping continue to develop steadily in the right direction. To that end, respect for the sovereignty of host states remains fundamentally important, as well as adhering to the principles of the UN Charter and the basic principles of peacekeeping, the core principles of peacekeeping. The need for a political settlement is the key task of peacekeeping. The blue helmets should maintain their neutrality in all circumstances and not become an armed force. The UN Security Council can take the decision to provide forced or offensive mandates in specific circumstances, taking into account the situation on the ground. But despite the temporary difficulties caused by the pandemic, it's important that we don't lose sight of those successes that were achieved in achieving and reaching peace agreements. In this connection, we supported the appeal of the Secretary General for a global ceasefire, which in a number of cases did help to preserve and continue mediation efforts by encouraging belligerent parties to achieve political breakthroughs and make progress with national reconciliation. An extremely important precondition for the ultimate success of any peacekeeping operation is effective cooperation with the host country. In the conditions of the pandemic, this is a particularly important undertaking. Strengthening trust and confidence and building dialogue is particularly necessary to ensure timely access to medical equipment and medicines themselves for the staff of UN missions, and also to resolve other pressing issues, including those related to possible restrictions that are required in order to combat coronavirus. We note the report of the Secretariat concerning the process for ensuring prompt vaccination for peacekeeping contingents, and also the efforts being made to support these actions by a group of friends of interested states. We believe that the right to choose specific medicines for peacekeepers should remain the preserve of the troop contributing countries, and the vaccinations themselves should be conducted on a voluntary basis. Mr. Chairman, we believe it is necessary to continue to strengthen trilateral cooperation between the UN Security Council, the Special Committee, and the Secretariat in order to strengthen mutual confidence and the spirit of compromise. It's important to take into account the opinions of TCCs and host countries when it comes to extending mandates, and also to consult with them when preparing recommendations from outcome reports about the effectiveness of peacekeeping missions. Optimizing the mandates of peacekeeping missions should go hand in hand with a reduction in the number of less relevant tasks for peacekeepers, including the human rights, social and gender-related components. Mr. Chairman, the main session of the Special Committee this year, as in previous years, is taking place once again in a somewhat unusual context, and this time because of the need to move the informal negotiations online because of the epidemiological situation. This, of course, makes the situation more difficult because this cannot replace entirely the effectiveness of in-person negotiations, particularly when we're talking about sensitive matters. In these difficult conditions, it's particularly important that all states work constructively to come up with common approaches to UN peacekeeping, including being ready to take into account one another's concerns. In conclusion, we would like to express our condolences to the states and families of peacekeepers who've laid down their lives in the line of duty. We note with regret the growing threat to the safety and security of peacekeepers in recent years. This heavy burden lies on troop-contributing countries who have been forced to suffer these losses despite their inestimable contribution to the work of international peace and security. Thank you.
I thank the distinguished Deputy Permanent Representative of the Russian Federation for her statement. And now